Hey, I'm Mikko. If you're looking to grow your Instagram account so that your art reaches more people, you've probably already heard of art feature accounts on Instagram. These accounts don't generate any original content. They use other artists' work to gather their following, and then they sell those spots to people so that they have their own business model of selling these art features to artists who want to grow their account. And if you ever wondered, should you pay money for these because they can be really expensive, I think this video will provide you with the information you need to make a decision on this. And also my own tips of how to use these accounts to your advantage without paying a single cent. The obvious benefit of these feature accounts is that if a feature account has 100,000 or more followers, then having your art on an account like that just gives you way more reach. But is that relevant reach? Let's say that you are posting a picture on a feature account that is specific to illustration. Illustration is a really broad term, so the type of illustration you have on this specific feature account decides what is the conversion rate of those people seeing your artwork on that feature account to your own Instagram account. How many of those are going to see that art in that feature account gallery and then click on your name to come to your Instagram account. If the fit is good, then you have reached your people, and then more likely you will have a bigger conversion rate. So I would avoid spamming feature accounts with hashtags that seem to have a style that isn't your style. So do your research and only use hashtags for feature accounts that are very close or similar to your own style. Because you want to reach people who are already interested in art that looks like that. And that way you can have a higher conversion rate if you end up getting featured. However, the chances of you being featured on these feature accounts is quite low. That is because these feature accounts are a business. Their money-making model is that they want to sell these spots rather than give them away for free. So the spots that they give to feature different artworks, they aren't like looking for new, unfound, creative people and talented people that just don't get attention on the internet. That's not a real thing. They aren't doing any actual work to do this, because the only type of artwork that they feature, and I have been featured on so many different accounts like this that I can say from experience that the only type of artwork that they will ever pick is stuff that is already performing super well on your own account. So for example, if you have a piece of artwork that does incredibly well, you have thousands of likes and you have 100+ comments, then a feature account will go through your feed and that is the only post that they are interested in, because that has proven track record. They aren't going to take any risks on you, so those are the only types of artwork that gets featured. So basically, when you already have attention, they can just amplify it, so you can't really trust them to find anything that isn't already performing very well. So in essence, you are already doing all of the heavy lifting and they are just looking to exploit your artwork. This sounds pretty dark, but I am also pretty annoyed with the way that some of these feature accounts work. Like for example, you've probably seen these like incredibly cheap captions for these feature accounts that like rate this artwork from 1 to 10. They don't care what you think about this featured art post. The only purpose of a caption like that is that it usually has a high engagement rate with the viewers, because people can just write down a number and then they are engaging with the content. But the artist of that original piece probably won't ever see what your comment is for that, and the owner of the feature account, they just don't care. They just want your comment, because if you are boosting their engagement rate, that will boost them up in algorithm and that will provide them with more potential clients, because their viewers are people who are already interested in art and they probably have their own art Instagram accounts, and those people are their potential clients that they want to entice. I have been featured on many different art feature accounts over the years. Sometimes people ask me that what did I pay to get on that spot or on that feature account? and I have never ever, and I'm not going to, pay a single cent to be featured on any of these accounts. And I'm going to explain the reasons here, and when you hear this math, you can decide for yourself if that makes sense. Before I continue with this following math, I just wanted to say that I wrote this script 2 weeks ago, and this example happened to me with these exact numbers after I had written this script. And that is the reason why I chose to film this video, because my guess here just happened to be 100% accurate. Now this is still anecdotal information, but I just thought that it was funny that I basically made up all of the numbers that I'm about to say here, and they came true 100%. So this is for a post that has high engagement ratio and didn't need to be featured because it's already performing really well on all of my social media feeds. So I think it's a good example. Let's say that you have just finished your illustration and you decide to use a feature account hashtag for your illustration when you are posting it to Instagram. To make this more concrete, let's say that the hashtag is #magicillustrations. I don't know if this exists, but just to make this more concrete, let's say that Magic Illustrations art account has 100,000 followers. So out of those 100,000 followers, when they choose your piece of artwork, when they see it on that hashtag, when they decide to feature that specific illustration on their feed, how many of those 100,000 followers are going to see that in their post that day, on that moment when it's posted, before the next post and the next post comes and pushes it down in algorithm? Everybody is not going to be online at the same time, so let's say that number is 50%, when 50% of the world is sleeping or working. And I think I'm being pretty generous with these assumptions. So 50,000 people are going to see your illustration in their feed. But wait, Instagram feed isn't chronological, so it only shows posts that it thinks are relevant to you, and the kind of posts that have a high engagement. So let's say that this post on the feature account feed that has 50,000 people online at the time when it's relevant in the feed watch it. Let's say that 30,000 people end up seeing it. I'm not cutting away that much here, so again, these are very generous assumptions. So 30,000 people are going to see it on their feed. Now, if you look at any of these art feature accounts on Instagram, you will notice that in the numbers, if you don't see likes at this point, you will probably notice that the comments are pretty low considering how many followers they have. And that is because the people that are following that feature account, they understand that they are not commenting on the artists there. At least some people understand this. Also, every piece of artwork comes from a different artist, so they might not like what that art feature account is posting on their feed. So that also pushes the engagement rate quite low. One of the unifying factors in all these art feature accounts is the fact that in their captions they are always advertising their own product, which is these spots on their own art feed. Also, they are probably saying something that follow this account or use #magicillustrations to be features, or tag a friend, which is another cheap way to boost engagement for these. Now, because they are making their own captions this way, that means that the first 2 lines that people see in their own feed when they are scrolling through Instagram, they won't be seeing your name at all if you are tagged in that post at all. Sometimes they don't even tag you, and in those cases I just report them immediately. But if you are tagged, you are probably tagged in the caption, but in the lower half. So for this post to make any sense to you, that viewer has to tag the caption and read it, and then notice what the artist is. Now, let's say that 30,000 people are seeing your post in this art feature account. Now, out of those 30,000 people, how many of them are going to tap the caption so that they can see that you are tagged in that post? If they are liking this post itself, that does nothing to you. That will only benefit the business of this art feature account, because that gives them more reach and more followers so that they can sell their product, which is those spots on their feed. If they tap your name and come to your Instagram gallery, then this is actually beneficial for you because this brings you more traffic. So let's say that 1 out of 10 people do these actions in that order so that they end up on your page. So out of 30,000 people, that now gives you 3,000 people on your Instagram page out of all of those 100,000 followers. Now, I think this is also a pretty generous assumption that 1 out of 10 likes that post enough to come to your Instagram gallery. So now you have traffic of 3,000 people. How many of those 3,000 people are going to end up following you? Maybe 1 out of 10. I think this is a pretty good engagement ratio. It also means that your post has to perform well so that these numbers add up. And if 1 out of 10 people end up following you after they come to your page, that means 300 of them are now your followers. This seems like a pretty low number to me to pay any money for. So I haven't spent any money on promoting my Instagram page via these art feature accounts. The reason why they use my art on these features is that they have already proven a good track record on my own gallery when they come to my page and they notice that this piece of artwork has a high like to view ratio or it has a lot of comments. They know that that same post will also perform well on their own feed. So I have already done all of this work, and it's more likely that my own page will generate me more followers than being on this art feature account. So it's pretty much exploitation. I'm not saying that it doesn't benefit me, because it does when these 300 people follow me, and when I started this would have been a huge number, and I don't want to diminish that at all, but I don't think the numbers make sense considering how expensive these features are. Often these art feature accounts DM me and they promote their own features so that they say that like you can get your own piece of artwork featured here for 200 euros. That seems insane. To make that amount of money, I would have to do a lot of work, and I might as well do my own paintings and post them on my own feed and maybe generate even more traffic that way. So this is why I always say that if you're struggling with your Instagram account and trying to reach more audience with your art, volume solves all problems. All problems can be solved with just like making tons and tons of art and posting it all on your feed. Trust me on this. I have done it many times, and the year when I posted 200 new paintings, that's the year when I grew up the most. Now, the way that you can use these feature accounts for free is just tag them in your captions, and I do this all the time. Now, I don't expect to be featured on these art feature accounts when I use these hashtags, but the cool thing is that I don't even have to benefit from their existence, and this way I can exploit them right back, which I think is pretty awesome. For example, there is like one art feature account that has never ever featured a single one of my paintings, but it's a feature account hashtag that I use almost every time, because I use this hashtag tracking program app called Smart Hash, and there you can see which hashtags generate the most traffic to your page. And the way that this traffic works, that if you click that hashtag, and you will see all the art that has been posted on that hashtag, and those are artists looking that hashtag, and those are my people that I want to reach. So I don't have to be featured on the art feature account to have the benefits of that hashtag, because artists are browsing that hashtag already, and my art is there in the top grid, even if I haven't been featured on the account itself, and those people come to my page and I am leeching their traffic, and I think that this is just like the best way to exploit them right back. So that is something that you can do, and if you don't get featured on their page, don't worry about it, just keep using the same hashtag and you will like leech their traffic to your page anyway. But all of this takes time. When I did my how to reach 10,000 followers on Instagram video, there was one person who DM'd me and said that I am already doing all of these things, but I am not still reaching 10,000 followers. And I don't usually like respond to these comments, but I went to this artist's page and she had 3 illustrations. How do you expect to grow your Instagram page if you have 3, count them, illustrations? So manage your expectations. When you're starting out, like honestly, nobody knows that you even exist on Instagram, and it will take a really long time to get that snowball effect rolling, and you just have to have patience, and you need to keep basically throwing spaghetti on the wall and seeing what sticks. But volume solves all problems, and volume will help you make those individuals reach your page. So just keep being consistent and keep producing more work, and most importantly, post all of your artwork. Because if you make something on your tablet and then you just leave it there or delete the file, nobody's going to see it. If you don't even give it a chance to fail online, you don't give it a chance to succeed either. And that's my main takeaway from this video, is just keep doing more work and you'll get there, and be patient and work hard. Okay, I'm Mikko and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!